Record. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy Christmas week, and welcome to our Tuesday coffee talk. So I'm going to spend these next coffee talks talking about, because I've had a lot of questions. So I've talked about this like on our team call, and people see it in my stories about this time of the year. I do like a deep dive of inner work, right? Going inward. I take this time to really reflect on everything that's happened in my year, right? And then I look ahead about who do I want to be in the next year? How do I want to show up? What kind of growth do I want to have in all areas of my life? And I do a lot of journaling and a lot of inner work. Like right now, I am deep diving Brene Brown's Power of Vulnerability series on Audible. If you haven't listened to that one, it's really good. But so I do a lot of personal development, like amped up. Like I do personal development every single day, right? 365 days a year. This time of the year, I do more and I deep dive my own inner growth and my inner work. And so people are like, well, what do you do? Like, how do you do it? Like, I don't know what to do. When I sit down with the journal, I'm just stuck. I don't know how to do this kind of work. So I'm going to give you guys some prompts, some journal prompts that are going to help you start this process. And then Thursday will continue. So I'll give you some things to go through today. And I really, really encourage you over the next couple days before we get to Thursday, if you're a regular on Coffee Talk, do this work, go through these questions, get really quiet with yourself and answer these before Thursday so that we can then build on this on Thursday. And then I'm going to help you guys kind of work through this end of the year so that you can just be so much more powerful in all areas of your life in 2023. So I have some questions. If you have something to write with, this is going to help you. So one of the first things I do is I look at, are there any situations, circumstances, relationships that I need to forgive, or anything I need to forgive myself for? Is there any people that I need to forgive in 2022 that I feel, a relationship went sideways, or that I feel wronged by, or even situations I need to forgive and let go and release? So I want you to think about, is there any resentments I'm holding, either resentments on myself or other people? Who do I need to forgive? And how do I need to forgive them? And if it's me, what do I need to do to forgive myself? So forgiveness is huge, you guys. Forgiveness is not about the other person. I want you to keep that in mind. Forgiveness is letting yourself heal and let yourself off the hook. Not forgiving someone and holding that resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It's poisoning yourself. It's holding you back from reaching new levels of yourself that are going to get you to places that you want to go. So forgiveness is huge. My second one is, what does your life look like now, today? Describe it. Where do you work? Do you like your job? Where do you live? Do you like where you live? Do you like your home? Who lives with you? How do you feel about the people in your life? So that's number one. Well, I guess that's number two. Forgiveness is number one. So go through that and really describe it. My second one is, what do you wish you could change in your life? For example, is it your health? Is it your job? Is it your finances? Maybe there's multiple things that you're like, this is a part of my life I want to change. We all have things to grow and to work on, right? The next is, what is the main thing that is not working in my life today? The main thing, like the biggest thing that you feel like, whether it's like, man, I'm so sick of being broke, or I really hate my job. By the time I got to the end of my mental health career, I was burnt out. I did crisis mental health work, and I was burnt. I was like, did not feel fulfilled. I was not enjoying the work. I felt like it was draining my soul. I did not like it. It was a huge sticking point for me in network marketing because I wanted out of my job so bad. So what is the main thing you feel in your life that's not working for you today? Who is in your life? Who are your friends? Who do you talk the most to? Is there anything about your circle of friendships or your support circle that you feel is either holding you back or that needs to change? And I'm going to throw this out there. If some of it is family, if you have a really toxic sister, brother, parent, right? It's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to love that person and not allow them in your life. It's okay. And I know that's really hard for people, but it's okay to draw boundaries in your life of people who are toxic or abusive, right? And I know that's hard, especially if it's a parent. So just know that and just evaluate it, right? Are you letting them drain your soul? Are you getting on the phone with your narcissistic mom 4 times a week for her to just abuse you? That's probably a line, a boundary you can draw. I'm not gonna get on the phone with my mom 4 times a week, right? I'll talk to my mom once a month or whatever it is, right? Have some boundaries. What does your financial situation look like? What would you change? I want you guys to start getting comfortable with money. Money is simply energy. It's neither good nor bad. It only has what you attach to it, right? It's only the energy that you bring to it. If you are a loving, giving, compassionate, kind person, money is going to amplify that. It's not going to make you evil, right? Now, if you're evil, greedy to begin with, money will also amplify that. Money only takes on the form and the energy of the person, of the beholder of the money. So think about your money. Where's your finances? Are you drowning in debt? Are you paycheck to paycheck? Or maybe you have an abundance of money. Maybe you've done really well with your finances this last year. So look at it. Where are you at financially? How do you feel physically? This is a huge one, you guys. Your body is your temple. Without our body, none of the other shit matters, right? If you're not healthy, money, your job, nothing else is really going to matter. So how do you feel physically? Are you as healthy and fit as you want to be? Do you have lots of energy? Do you wake up full of energy and vitality and have energy all day without living on energy drinks and caffeine, right? How is your nutrition? How's your diet? What do you eat? Do you get exercise? Look at that stuff. And just, there's no judgment. I don't want you to get into this and start judging yourself and talking down to yourself and shaming yourself. You cannot shame yourself into change, by the way. So I don't want you to look at this and say, God, I'm fat. Nah, I eat like shit. Why did I do this to myself? I'm so stupid. Gosh, I'm lazy. That is called shame. And we're not operating from that space. We're operating a space from love and growth. And so when you look at this, I want you to evaluate, not judge. 2 different things, okay? Judging is shaming. Evaluating is looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, I do eat a lot of sugar. I know that's not good for me. Look at the facts, right? I know sugar is not good for me. I would like to eat less sugar in 2023, right? Sugar was a huge one for me. I had to get rid of, right? So just look at it and evaluate it. Where are you at? What would you like to change? How do you feel mentally? Do you go throughout the day feeling sad, angry, frustrated? I know people who live their life in a state of frustration. They're literally frustrated about everything. They are in my inbox every day, frustrated about a new thing. They literally live in that space. Are you depressed? Are you happy? Are you joyful? Do you feel grateful? How do you currently protect and recharge your mind? Do you do self-care? Do you do personal growth? Are you looking at your mental health? What do you do to fill your own cup? Do you rest or do you hustle too much, right? Do you hustle for your self-worth? Like, look at where's my mental health? How do I feel? What are common thoughts that you have on a daily basis? Like, what are the things that are ruminating in your mind every day? Do you wake up and is it, always, I'm never enough. I don't get enough done. I didn't get enough sleep. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy unless I'm achieving those kinds of things. Or is it, more gratitude and joy and abundance and growth mindset? So look at what are some common thoughts that are ruminating your head every day. Evaluating your thoughts is super important. And as you go through this, really just look at some things in your life. And if there's things in your life that you're like, okay, these are things that I want to change, I want you then on the other side of the paper, like if it's my business is not growing the way I want it to. I want you to write what if statements. What if my business was thriving and growing and making me $20,000 a month like I want? What if I was in perfect health and had so much energy and vitality to go throughout my day and play with my kids and felt confident in my own skin? What if my finances abundantly covered all my wants, desires, bills, travel, giving, and saving? What if I was happy and joyful and grateful every day of my life, no matter what was happening? What if, right? So write what if statements, not what if the worst case scenario, but what if, and then the best case scenario that it could be, because it can be. Now you either have a dreaming mind or a thinking mind. So I'm going to go through these questions that I have written down here, and I want you to, I'm going to go through, are you a dreamer questions? Okay. If you answer yes to most of these, you're a dreamer. Then I'm going to go through, are you a thinker? Okay. And if you answer yes to most of those, you're a thinker. And then as we move through Coffee Talk in the next couple of weeks here and going into January, I'm going to give you guys tips if you're a dreamer or if you're a thinker. I'm a dreamer. Okay. Dreamers are really good at setting like really big goals. They have these big dreams, and we suck at execution. I've had to train myself on execution, but we have just like these huge dreams, right? Like, yeah, I'm going to live in this mansion on the beach and and they're just dreams out there. And then we don't know how to execute it, where thinkers are more executionists, right? But they have a really hard time thinking big enough. They think what's realistic, what's possible. So are you a dreamer? Do you often daydream? Yep. Were you a daydreamer as a child? Oh my gosh, big time. How many of you guys were told to stop daydreaming as a kid? Guilty. I tell my daughter, keep on daydreaming. We have to stop telling our kids to stop daydreaming, because daydreaming is actually very, very beneficial for them. Do you consider yourself artistic? Do you see things in your mind in a vivid or visual way, like a movie playing? Are you creative? Are you a risk taker? Does buying a lottery ticket give you like the secret excitement, like a twinge of like, ooh, what if I actually did win, right? Have you had a difficult time finding the right career path or finding a passion because so many things interest you and excite you? Guilty. Does it excite you to try new things and visit new places? I'm a yes to that also. Do you often think there's more to life? Yeah. Do you get excited about big ideas? I'm also a yes there. Did you always feel deep down that you were meant for something more? If you answered yes to most of those, you're considered a dreamer. Okay, now let's talk about thinkers. Okay, so do you like to make a plan before taking action? Do you thrive on structure? Do you tend to vet all possible outcomes before doing anything risky? You're like, okay, that could happen, that could happen, that could happen. And if it's too risky, I ain't doing it. Are you generally speaking pretty organized? Like you are very organized, you're pretty much an organized person. Do you tend to research and then do more research? Have you stayed in the same career for lots of years? Do you only make goals that you absolutely know you can accomplish? Like you don't set big goals because you have to know you can accomplish them. Do you have a hard time getting excited or taking action on something that is outside your comfort zone? So it's outside your comfort zone, you're not doing it. You're like, ooh, no. Do you think buying a lottery ticket is a complete waste of money? Do you have people in your life who dream big and they scare you or make you anxious when they do that? Do you tend to make lots of lists and spreadsheets? Is your schedule extremely predictable? Does failure scare you? And are you very budget conscious? So if you answered yes to most of those, you're considered a thinker. Now, I can teach you how to become the best of both worlds. Because I'm a dreamer by nature, definitely not organized. My schedule now, predictable, because I made it that way, because I knew, because I'm a dreamer, right? I have a hard time with execution. I had to build in some things for me to become disciplined, like getting my schedule disciplined and learning how to become organized so that I could start to execute on my big dreams. So if you're only a dreamer and you don't learn how to execute, right, then those big dreams are only big dreams, and they're going to discourage you year after year after year after year because they never come true. Now, on the other end, if you're only a thinker, right, you're going to stay small. You're never going to play big enough to achieve anything that you want to achieve because you overthink it and you don't make big enough goals. You, if you're a thinker, need to learn how to incorporate the dreamer side. So I can teach you how to become the best of both worlds so that you can dream big and then execute, right? That's the goal. So that's really all I got for today, but I want you to go through those questions that I asked you in the beginning for you to ask yourself, for you to start looking at the year that you had and your current results, your current reality, because your current results are telling about what your thought process is and what your emotions are and what your actions have been and how you're showing up in the world. There's no judgment and there's no shame. It's simply, this is my current results. This is where I currently am. And then looking at, am I satisfied? Am I fulfilled? Is this enough for me? And, maybe it is in a lot of areas of your life. Maybe some areas of your life are like, I'm good here. I'm really good here. But there's going to be areas of your life where you're like, I feel dissatisfied in this area of my life, or I need growth in this area of my life, or I need change in this area of my life. And I'm going to teach you as we move forward, those goals that you have, how to reverse engineer them so that come January, you're ready to go. You know where you want to be in 3 months, you know where you want to be in 6 months, and you know where you want to be at the end of 2023. And not only that, but you know the action steps that you need to achieve them. That's what I'm going to help you guys do over the next couple of weeks. It's been really just coming at me that I need to help you guys dig into this stuff because it is important, and it is how you plan your life out and how you absolutely can create the life that you look at and go, I'm obsessed with the way I'm living. I love every part of it. I'm living exactly where I want to live. I'm working in exactly the career I want to be doing. I'm making exactly the kind of money I want to be making. I'm happy. My relationships are thriving. I'm thriving. I have hobbies. I'm giving back the way I want to. That's where I want you guys to live, in that state. And most of the population doesn't, because most of the population will not sit down and do this work. Most people are too busy. I'm too busy to sit down and do this inner work. No, you ain't. You got 24 hours in a day, just like everyone else. I can also help you how to become a master of your time. But if you spend an hour a day on you, wake up an hour earlier. I wake up an hour earlier instead of hitting the snooze button and waking up when it's time to get my kids up and ready for school. I'm getting up an hour earlier to work on me. I'm doing the inner work because I know that if I don't, I'm going to be living like 90%, 97% of the population, unfulfilled and not truly living the kind of life I am obsessed with. So sit down, take the time to do this, whether it's in the morning. I'm fresh in the morning. I'm an early morning riser. I like it. My brain turns off after 9 o'clock at night, but maybe yours is late at night. Maybe when your kids go to bed and it's time, everything's quiet, maybe your time is late at night. But take an hour a day to start digging in and doing some of this work that I'm going to give you. And I promise you, 2023 is going to be your best freaking year ever. All right, guys, have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you all on Thursday. Bye.